Hi. A few friends of mine have asked me how I make my pizza. It's not my pizza, it's actually a combination of a Cuisinart recipe on their website for making the dough and a Chef John recipe for the sauce. He's a very popular chef from the All Recipes website, and the pizza, the sauce is delicious and the dough comes out perfect. So I thought I'd show you, so in case you wanted to replicate it, because it's really a delicious, delicious pizza. So I'm going to try doing that for you. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh the flour on the scale. I'm going to tare it so that it's just weighing the flour, not the bowl. Right there, that's my flour. You're getting what you need. So I've got the 361 grams, and now I'm going to add rapid rise yeast. I like rapid rise. I used to use the regular one, but this you can just add it right to the flour, along with a teaspoon and a half of salt. So I have a half a teaspoon, 3 times. Now with the rapid rise, you don't need to use sugar anymore. What I have to do now is do the water. With the rapid rise yeast, it has to be hotter. It has to be between 120 and 130. So I'm gonna get that ready. I'm looking for 8. I don't mind if it goes a little bit over, because once I heat it up in the microwave, it'll lose a little bit. I'll get that. Okay, we're at 120. So I'm going to add the flour to the food processor. And put this on. Spinning that around. And now I'm going to add the slowly hot water. And it'll clean the sides. I'll sometimes add a little bit more olive just to help it. See how it's a little bit faster there? Looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back in the bowl with a little coating of oil and let it rise. That's the next step. Pretty cool. Clear it up. Yeah, that's a bite of pizza. Give it a little bit of a like that. And that baby's gonna cover it. Keep it in a warm place. I put it in the oven. I don't remind me. Now I'm just going to wait for that to rise. And this is how much it's risen after an hour and a half. So if I poke it, you see how it collapses a little bit. And it'll rise some more. Now I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it sit there and rise some more for overnight, or maybe even 2 days. And it actually helps with the flavor of the crust when you do that. And this gives you some chunks of tomato. So we got that pretty much the way I like it. And we've got some fresh oregano from the garden and a few cloves of garlic. Okay, so now I've got a saute pan, and I'm going to heat up some olive oil, medium to medium low heat, because we're going to be sauteing garlic and we don't want it to burn. And we're going to do that with the fresh oregano that I just chopped up. We're going to add the sauce to the pan with a half a tablespoon of crushed red pepper, half a tablespoon of dried oregano, and some salt and pepper. Okay, now it's getting almost ready to put the sauce in, so I'm going to do that now. Thick sauce with pizza. Looks good already. This will kick it up. So John makes the point that combining the dried oregano and the fresh oregano really gives you a nice spread of flavors. Mix that in. Salt, black pepper, and I'll have to stir this every so often, just as it's simmering. Looking good. I'm going to get about 20 ounces of sauce once it reduces. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so my dough spent 2 nights in the fridge, and there it is. Get some flour. Eyeballing this thing. So I'm going to let these rest. They're cold, and I'm going to let them warm up, and they'll rise a little bit more before I start rolling them out. Nice fresh basil from the garden, washed, and just letting it dry a little bit before I snip it. That's just like that. It'll shrivel up pretty well. Any cheese, any shredded mozzarella would still taste pretty good on pizza, especially with this sauce. But I prefer, and I find that it really does taste better, is fresh mozzarella. And I love these pearls because they're like little individual balls, and they're so easy to spread around the pizza without having to rip it or cut it. So I choose this most of the time. And I'm preheating this large cast iron pizza stone pan. I don't know if you call it a stone, it's cast iron, but in any event, it's preheating for about an hour, and I'm doing it at 475. So everything I need for a Margherita pizza is right in front of me. There's my sauce, there's my mozzarella, my basil, my dough's rolled out and still rising. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil around the edges before I spread the sauce so that the edges will brown and get crispy. And then finish it off with some Parmesan sprinkled on the top when it's done. Tomatoes. Okay, we got that done. And now I'm going to spread this out very and there it goes. First one in. And this is what we got. Look at this. Look at this Margherita pizza. Oh, the only credit I take is that I'm able to follow directions, because this is tremendous. Okay. Oh, love it. I hope you enjoy. I'll post the recipe at the end of this video.